So yeah, this is one way how you would get, and then as you can imagine, a post, we obviously can't post to this Reddit URL, so I'm not going to try to do that, but it will look very similar to this. It would be something like this, followed by the JSON.stringified body of the data that you're posting to. Now, if you want to work with the headers, we would just have to inject headers and request options from HTTP, and then we would just configure our headers here. So it'll be something like const headers equals new headers, and then we can put our header stuff here, you know, authorization, whatever it is. And then you just need to set up a new options. Request options, and then the headers are going to be these headers, like that. And then you can just pass that in as a third argument. Any questions on this stuff? Yes.
Can I just see the the constructor that was in app.ts again?
App.ts? Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's important.
Any questions on this? So we figured out how to fetch it. Now let's go over a strategy of how to successfully grab this data from this service and implement it in one of our components and onto a template. So we'll just render these Reddit posts on the template right quick. That way you can get a taste of how you would do it with the widgets. So obviously I don't need this stuff anymore. Let's get rid of that. Not that. And that's going to be a get. So we got that. Make sure we return this. If you don't return this, then you don't get access to it. So make sure you do that. And then we're obviously not going to count the log here. We're actually not even going to subscribe here. We're going to subscribe in the component itself, not in here. The reason we don't want to subscribe in here is because there's nothing that we want to do in this service. Everything that we want to do when we get notified about the data is in the component. So that's where we subscribe to. We don't want to subscribe in here. So now we're going to go over to our component. I'm just going to put it in app for the sake of not having to make more stuff. And I'll just make a component right quick, and we'll just call it posts. And it's just going to be a UL with a LI that has a ng4 on it. Posts of, oops, post of posts. And then we'll just put like the posts dot title and the author. So we'll do that.
Off your posts. You have posts of posts.
Oh, thank you. Post of posts. We'll put that there. And then now in our app, we just need to work with that. So let's just go ahead and set that up. Post is an array. Got that. And then what we'll do is, as soon as this thing starts, we'll fetch it. And then we'll subscribe. And now we get the posts. Actually, this is going to be like some weird, funky, Reddit returns like some funky data. Let's see what this looks like. And we'll just log it right quick. Let's see what this looks like. Cool, so it's an object. There it is, it's the children property that we want. So, because we only want the children property, so I'm going to go back here and just modify our map function, just return that. So that way, by the time it gets to the view, we really have what we need. And in fact, I could even go a step further. So the children property, they all have an object with a data property on them individually. And then the ones that we want are author and title. I'm guessing there's a title. Yep, title. So we can just do that here too. So we can say rest.json.data.children.map the child And all we want to return, and really all we want from the child is the data attribute. So if you don't know what that is, I'm destructuring in the array, in the argument signature. So you can just destructure there. So there's a property called data on the argument that's coming in on this callback. So I'm just destructuring right there. It's the equivalent of doing it's equivalent of that, but doing it in the array signature. It's also the equivalent of doing it like that. All three of them are the same. So we'll just keep it simple. We'll just do that. And all I want to return is the author, which would be the data.author, and then the title, which would be the data.title. There we go. So let's see what that looks like. Cool. There we go. Author, title. That's all we needed. And then now we can come back over here and we can say post equal that data, or this dot post equals that data. And our template should be good. Post dot title, post dot author. So we should see something on the page now. There we go. So that's one strategy, probably the most naive, simplest strategy to get data from a server and into your component. I would not recommend doing it this way. This is how, like I said, it's very naive. It's not going to scale. You probably want to use something better. And we'll talk about better strategy if you're on the course tomorrow. But this is the simplest way to do it. But obviously, storing this state like this is not a good idea.